I like horror games like Resident Evil, third-person horror game with action. I don't like first-person games much, but I really don't like first-person horror games. This game really got my attention with detective and cyberpunk themes, so I wanted to give it a try. Observer is a first-person psychological horror game developed by a Polish team. No, not this one. This one. They are known as developers of Layers of Fear, a first-person psychological horror game as well. I didn't play Layers of Fear. I might try it out. Observer is a retro-style futuristic game set in 2084, Krakow, a cyberpunk city. You can expect some cool body modifications, neon colors, very advanced technology, but this time it has pretty depressing setup, a dystopia. It's after a digital plague that caused thousands of people's death and a war after it. You are controlling Detective Daniel Lazarsky, but you are cooler than a regular detective, an observer. You can hack into minds of criminals, victims, to track down drug business and illegal activities. Beginning of the game, you get a call from your son, Adam. You go to his apartment, you find the man decapitated. Of course, first thing Daniel is thinking his son is dead. Everyone has a chip in their brain, so without a head, you can't identify the person. Daniel almost gets a heart attack, thinking his son is dead. His voice acting though, kinda monotone even in this situation.
Okay, Dan. Maybe it's not him. Doesn't have to be.
Throughout the game he usually talks very monotone, but the voice acting is good at general in the game. After having stress or hijacking mind sessions, Daniel takes a pill in a weird way to heal himself. You can find pills lying around, though I never check if I go out of pills, what can happen. If you need to take a pill, screen gets kinda pixelated, so you know you need to heal. Daniel has two different devices to investigate the crime scene. You can scan organic things or electronic things with your vision. You have a tiny little dot on the screen as a mouse pointer to select objects and interact with them. I really don't like much scanning effect, screen becomes way too pixelated. I get it, it kinda works like with your senses, but every game I use it that function at least I can see around. But in this game, we can only see things that we need to scan, but rest is looking like 144p. Game is basically a walking simulator, but that's kinda point of it. It plays like a modern point-click adventure game except for weird stealth sections. We will go in that point later. So after done with scanning crime scene, a lockdown starts. Daniel can't go anywhere and trapped inside this building. Now Daniel only wants to find his son, or at least find out if that's the body of his son. During the game you can talk with apartment residents. You are in the poorest section of the city where people live poorly, drug addict, dangerous. You can talk with people through their mini screen and phone call thing, and you will have some dialogue options. Most of the time order doesn't matter, but sometimes obviously an option lets to end the conversation. I like that you can skip conversations phrase by phrase, so replaying the game for some new conversations will be less painful. You can talk with the residents to learn if they see anything suspicious to help you, but also they will tell you a little bit of their story. Some people doesn't say anything useful or interesting, but other people talk about quite interesting things. The story is kinda weak. There is not much character development or anything. The story mostly focuses on how people are living in this fictional world. You can find their diaries or read notes about them. Daniel is the only character we get a chance to learn more, and a bit about his son. During the game as an observer, you can connect yourself to the brain chip of others to find their memories even if they are dead. And this is where the real gameplay comes out. Every time you hijack a mind, you see their last moments, but on the weirdest way. You will see all these cool effects and very nicely done art on these hijacked sections of the game. But sometimes it's a bit frustrating, like if you don't look at a certain wall, it won't be transforming to the next section. So you can make circles around like an idiot. Sometimes you will have puzzles to solve, but then again it can be a little frustrating. There are also looping rooms. You will end up looping unless you follow certain doors in a certain order. Still amazing effects and creativity is really good. The game's art design is impressive. Sometimes these visions have symbolic meaning about the person, but I feel like most of the times they are just random images just to show how cool it is. I wish they had more meaning and connection from the character we entered his or her mind and learn more about them. There is a part you are literally babysitting a television, and when you leave it cries after you. I don't think it's scary, I just loved it, this part. There can be fun sections and frustrating sections, depend on how much you like point-click puzzle adventure games or walking simulators. Personally, I don't like much this kind of games, and some parts of Observer I was really bored or just stuck in a puzzle. And once I had a bug, my character stuck in a place, but restarting fixing that problem. This game has some jump scares, but not much, and only one jump scare really get me.
Need to get out. You again? Not a good idea to sneak up on me, you know. Need to get out.
The worst part of the game is first-person stealth sections. There's a monster start hunting you out of nowhere. Sometimes you don't even notice it suddenly starts hunting you and result in game over. I really don't like first-person stealth, but the main problem here is it didn't even feel it belonged to this game. I literally felt like I'm playing another game. It really felt like a filler rather than a part of the game. At least this guy is dumb as fuck, so you don't need to worry about it too much. It's really breaking immersion that I'm hijacking a mind, seeing lots of visions about that person's life, and suddenly, oh look, I'm hunted. What? It didn't felt like it belongs to this game. Another gameplay element is you can hijack doors, but it's not always working, so you might search around the correct digit or try your chance. You can do some puzzles like moving objects, pressing buttons, plugging cables. The same kind of puzzles also exist in dream sequences. The only thing is kinda broken though is objective screen. You never know if you pass an objective or not. It just shows the list of objectives. I wanna talk about the story ending and some little details. That may be spoiler for you. You can skip to the minutes shown in the video. Okay, 3, 2, 1. There is a moment Daniel starts to lose his mind and he starts to see his own memories even though he didn't connect himself to anyone's chip. He starts to confuse dream and reality. Also, there is a part in the game someone used the hologram to fake these dreams. So as a player you are even more confused if it's hologram or Daniel loses his mind. In some parts of the game you have gore scenes like this pig they were feeding for selling his organs. And you can set him free from his pain. I wish there are more parts like that where we can interact more with the environment. We can find the roles and its species in danger. Organic things almost non-existent in this world. It's sad. People don't appreciate organic things either. They wanna be immortal with body modifications, even to transfer their consciousness from their body to machines so they can live forever. And that's actually what his son was doing. You find sons had in a room. You can see his chipset and connect to see his final moment. Every person having a chipset is really disturbing. Privacy doesn't exist anymore and doesn't matter where they go, they're always being watched. When Daniel tries to connect to his son's chip in order to hijack it, he notices his son doesn't want his father to do so. He adds some kind of security over it. It's a pretty interesting part of the game where you find yourself playing inside a retro game. There is no winning though. You will lose your life sooner or later, then get kicked out of it. After this mini game with information you found around, you head your way to Sanctuary, where people transfer their consciousness into machines. I like it that inside the machine there is a tree, something organic that humanity is missing years ago. There you find your son and he tells you to go to a hotel behind the Sanctuary to find him there. Before finding him, you see a bunch of visions about Daniel's life. His wife was dying and the only way to save her was extreme body modifications. That she will be a half robot or something like that. She rather die than become a half robot freak. Daniel agrees with her decision and she died. But his son isn't happy about it and blames his father. Later Daniel had a car accident, they need to make lots of body modifications to keep him alive. Daniel doesn't want to live as a weird half robot thing, but he has to take care of his son. So he does accept these modifications. Daniel's ungrateful bitch son Adam, sorry for the rage, calling him a liar because he modified himself to survive, but didn't let his mother to survive. Really, dude, that's what you get? What you understand of the situation? In final of the game, it reveals that monster chasing you is indeed Daniel, but from the eyes of Adam. He sees his father as a monster. When you finally reach Adam, he's like a robot head. His consciousness connected there. He explains he killed himself, he is responsible for the lockdown, and he did all this to bring Daniel here. He leaves his own body and transfers his consciousness here. Now he wants the body of Daniel to transfer his consciousness. I didn't understand that part well. Why to leave your body but now you need another body? You have two options, so there are two endings. You can either embrace Adam and get not so happy but not so sad ending, that Daniel leaves the apartment but Adam fully controls him. Or you can reject Adam ending, that you reject Adam but he takes Daniel's body and dumps Daniel's mind into a service robot. Janitor finds that service robot, so Daniel switches bodies with him. Now Daniel/janitor finds Daniel's body that controlled by Adam and start to beat him to death, but police shot and stop him. Probably Daniel is dead and Adam is alive in Daniel's body. The ending isn't the best, but I enjoyed the story and atmosphere overall. Observer is an artistic psychological horror game with a great atmosphere. I really like the retro style futuristic themes in the game. You will see retro computers, giant cables, cassette players, and all the retro stuff in this futuristic world. You can use computers and find the retro game with many levels, and if you beat them you get an achievement. In some parts of the game you lose your sense of what is real and what is dreaming. The game does a good job on many sections as psychological horror. Dystopia cyberpunk theme is really well done in this game. Story and ending aren't much impressive, but it was okay for me. I finished the game in 8 hours, though I stuck in some parts. There are 2 endings. Too bad there is no manual save, so you need to repeat the entire game to unlock the second ending. If you don't like first-person horror, click-point adventure games, or walking simulators, you may not enjoy this game. I enjoyed the atmosphere a lot, but gameplay ends up boring and frustrating sometimes. If you are a fan of this genre, I will definitely recommend it. The game is really well done, except stealth sections completely unnecessary and breaking immersion. I hope you enjoyed this video about Observer. I will focus on horror games in my videos, but I will also make videos about other genres. You can recommend me games in the comments. See you on the next one!